Sometimes you have a great product idea, but you don't know how to create a payment button or collect money from all of your potential customers. In this video, I'll show you how to create a buy now button with PayPal so you can sell your product and services to all of your new customers. I'm Bert with imshosting.co, and I've got a great product idea, but I need a buy button. Let's take a look at the example we have for today. In today's example, we're selling dehydrated water, and I've got my sales page ready to go. However, I want to put a buy button right here so that my customers can buy. And I know once this product goes live, well, this is probably the last video I'll ever create because I'm going to make so much money I'll be able to retire. So let's go to PayPal together and create this buy button now. Once you log into your PayPal account, look for the Tools tab in the navigation bar. At Tools, come down here to All Tools. Now this is just a standard basic PayPal account, and you can create buttons in just a regular PayPal account, so you don't need any advanced or business account. Scroll down and look for the PayPal buttons link, and there it is. Click on that, and once here, if you've created buttons in the past, it will save them for you here. But you probably don't have any, so just look for the Create New Button link. At this point, it's pretty intuitive and pretty easy, but let's go through it together. We'll just create a basic button because there's lots of options, and maybe in a future video we'll talk about some of the different options. But let's create a basic button for today. Choose the type of button you want, and we want a Buy Now button. We come here, we need to put in the name of our product. And today we're selling dehydrated water. Now we want to put a price in here. $7.77, and you can choose your currency if you're outside the United States. These buttons right here are to customize, and we'll talk a little bit about this, but then we'll go down here and we'll choose a shipping. If you have a digital product, you probably don't need shipping, but since I'm going to have to ship this dehydrated water, we'll put in $4.99 shipping. After all, dehydrated water is probably pretty light. We'll scroll down, and right here we have an option. I'm going to put a dot in this radio, use my primary email address. And then we'll go to step 2. In step 2, the default is ticked, Save Button at PayPal, and you do want to leave that so that in the event you use this button again, or you can clone this button if you're going to sell other products similar to this. Well, you don't need to do these other two here. That's optional, but if you're anal and you like to track it, or if you have a physical product, well, it might be good to track so that you don't oversell. But we'll just leave that optional, and I'll come down here and I'll choose step 3. In step 3, you can allow your customers to change the order quantities, and in this case it's a physical product, so I would choose yes and allow them to. However, in most cases, if you have a digital product, well, then you would just choose no. Come down here, can your customers add special instructions? That's always a good idea. In the event they say, hey, I bought 2 bottles of this right here, ship one to a different address. Then we'll go ahead and scroll on down, and do you need your customer shipping address? Yes, I do, so I'll leave that. Now, right here is a good place. Make sure that you tick mark, take customers to this URL when they cancel their checkout. Now this is a great place to put in a second offer. In the event they didn't like your first offer, maybe they thought it was too expensive, this would be where you would add a second URL to where they can buy the same product, maybe this time without any bonuses, okay? And now they've got it at a reduced price. Gives you a chance to get a second chance at that customer. In this case, I'll just go ahead and put in the URL that if they cancel, it takes them right back to the sales page so they can see it again. Now, after they buy their product, tick mark right here, where do you want to take them? In this case, you could take them to a thank you page, or you might take them to a secure download link where they can download that digital product. In most cases, it's best to probably bring them to a thank you page and have that digital download delivered via email. That way you make sure you get a good email address from them. So now we have a URL that we can take them to for a second chance, and we have a thank you page URL right here. Now we'll go ahead and scroll down, and actually we're done. All we need to do is hit Create Button. Once we create the button, we now have two options here. We have some HTML that might seem a little bit scary, and we have what's called an email link. And both of these are very easy to use. The easiest is obviously the email link, and we'll just quickly show you both. If we come to the website link, you just highlight this and you copy all of this code. We'll go back to our page and put this HTML on there. So now that I'm at this page, this is our text editor, and it's important that since you're dealing with HTML that you want to go to the HTML section or the text section of your website. Paste your code in there and then hit update. You can then go back to the visual tab and you can see what your button looks like, and there it is. It's really simple. Let's go see how it looks on the actual sales page. When that page refreshes, if I scroll down, I can see my button is right here. And that's because I'm just using a different drag and drop editor. But the point is to show you how easy it is to put it on a page. So I'm going to go back and put it in its right place. Now here's my drag and drop editor. All this part's really not all that important, but I'm going to put my code inside here. I'll put my code right here, and I'll make sure to go to the text editor because I need the HTML side. I'll paste my code in there, and I'll go back to the visual editor. It's here, and I really need it to be centered. And maybe the easiest way is to put my cursor in front of it and just use the indent, because for whatever reason it doesn't center the normal way if I use the align center. Alright, you get the picture. So now we have it in its appropriate place. I'll go ahead and save changes. Alright, now I'll come over here and I'll refresh the page. And if I scroll down, it looks like I'm now ready to sell my product. Now, the important thing is once you have it here, you need to always test your product. And you can go back to PayPal and you can simply change or edit this button. So you can come right here, edit this button. And you can change the price to $1. Save those changes. And now you can go back to your web page. Now that you're at your web page, it's always important to test your buy button. Actually spend $1 and make sure that it works and that it goes to its appropriate place. So now that we're here, you just simply click on buy now, just like your customer would, and go all the way through that process. And as you can see, it opens up in PayPal. And once it's there, it shows the actual name of the product. There's the product, dehydrated water. Okay, and they can actually choose how many they want. Well, I want to go ahead and get 2 jugs, one for me and one for my brother-in-law when we go hiking, right? And so now it actually shows what the price is. I can hit update, and you can see, well, now it's $2, and then there's shipping right there. So you can see your customer can now log in and they can buy the product. And that's how easy it is to actually get a buy now button on your web page and start selling your product to all your new customers. In the next video, I'll show you how we can use that email link and an image to create our own custom button. I'll see you there.